I wasn't quite expecting what people were going to talk about, so um, um, that's better. Well, when I grew up in a small town in Cardiff, Maryland, next to Delta, and my friends and I are at the bus stop, and one of my friends says, "Did you get the talk?" And we all look at each other. Yes, we got the talk. So somebody, one of our friends, must have started her period, and all the mothers must have called each other. That was way before texting. And so we all got the talk. So it was like back in those days, you had well, they didn't call it a chastity belt, but I think that's what it was. And it had a hook on it and this pad that had this long, thing. And so that was all the mechanics of that. Well, I was about 12, and I didn't start my period till I was 16, so I had to go back for a refresher course. So then we had these like pep rallies in school, and at the time, I graduated in 1965, and girls still had to wear skirts or dresses. They weren't allowed to wear pants or anything like that. So then you had these, that was before pantyhose. I know there's people in here that were born, that there was always pantyhose or whatever, but there was a time before when there wasn't pantyhose, and you had to wear this like garter thing, and it had these hooks on it, and then you hooked the nylons to it. And so we're in the gymnasium, and we're up near the top, and so when the program's over, we're walking down to go out, and if you look up Murphy's Law in the dictionary, there's my picture. I'm actually the centerfold for Murphy's Law. But so, of course, that day, one of the hookers was off. So I only had one hook. So I'm walking down, and I could feel it coming loose. And I'm trying to reach down and grab the nylon and hold it up, and my friend turns around to say something to me, and she sees my predicament and busts out laughing. And I thought, oh God, that's the end of that. So that's my story of the 60s, and I'm sticking to it.